All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and lock in. The good doc does not consider himself to be a savant. He does not consider himself to be the best pickup artist of all time. He doesn't know all about cold approaching and all the dating market, game that you can get from some of these pickup artists that you find on YouTube and other social media platforms. But what the good doc can tell you is there is one thing that I have found to be highly effective when it comes to actually trying to get some communication between you and a specific young lady as it pertains to dealing with them abroad. And in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get to it. So make sure you guys stay locked in. What is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be, Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again, once again. You should already know, ladies and gentlemen, this one is poised to be an instant classic in the making. If this is your first time to the experience, by all means, make sure you subscribe, notify, do all the good things to make yourself well-versed in the Good Doc's content. All my good stuff listed in the link in the description area below. Merch listed below the description area below this video. All right, I'm not gonna waste too much time with you. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Doc's not about to give you this huge revelatory moment, but I am gonna tell you one highly effective thing that I have found to be the best to utilize, especially when it comes to talking to young ladies overseas, and that is finding a way to get them your phone number as opposed to asking for their phone number. All right, so let's go ahead and knock this out. All right. So if you're at a bar and a young lady may be the bartender that's writing your phone number on a napkin, if you're at a eatery or a place, a restaurant, you like the lady that's been serving you, you want her to talk to you, want to talk to her, write your number on the back of the receipt, give it to her, say, maybe we should talk sometime, right? If that's at Starbucks, same rules apply, rinse and repeat, okay? And the reason why I find this to be a highly effective tactic is because it puts the ball in their court. Right? It puts all the pressure on them, if that makes sense. And if you're a guy like me, when I first came to the country, wasn't really big on just jumping out there and talking to people and shit like that. I'm not going to lie to you. I kept to myself. And typically a young lady would have to come at me or show me some interest before I went over there and started bothering them or talking to them. If you're anywhere like me, this really does serve you guys well if you're not really the conversationalist or the communicationalist in the beginning, right? You know that you have good, I would say, good conversational, technique or whatever you want to call it, text messaging or whatever. But like when you're in public and there's a whole bunch of people around, and of course being the foreigner, this was one thing that I hated. Being the foreigner, you stick out like a sore thumb. You start talking to a girl, everybody and their mama stopping to look at you while you're trying to talk to somebody. If that kind of really gets to you, this is one of the techniques that, like I said, are highly effective simply because it puts you in a position to take the pressure off yourself and put the ball in that young lady's court. Why does it put the ball in their court? Is now they're in a position where they have to make the decision, right? Are they gonna call you or text you, or are they not? One thing that I do have to co-sign on, the young homie Austin Holloman said this a lot, and I'm giving him credit for this because I've heard him talk about this more often than probably other foreigners that have talked about the exact same content or talked about the same type of situation. Most girls overseas are no BS, right? They either rock with you or they don't. Let's say that one more time. Either they mess with you or they don't mess with you. So that basically means if I'm giving you my phone number and you call me, there's got to be some level of interest, right? If you text me, there has to be some level of interest that I gave you my number and you gotta want to hear what it is that I gotta say to you, right? Maybe the foreigner charm, I don't know. Maybe you're just curious in being a foreigner, but in some way, shape, or form, you're interested, right? Or the latter, you're not interested. I'm not gonna hear from you. I'm not gonna hear anything about you. By the time I come to the restaurant again, it's like complete strangers, man. It's just not that level. But again, those are one or two things that are gonna happen. But I do have to say there is one asterisk. There is one caveat. There is one thing that has happened to me personally that I gotta share with you guys as one thing that could potentially happen. I've only ever had this happen to me one time. It turned out to be a great fucking thing, but it's only ever happened to me one time. And I'm not gonna guarantee that it's gonna be great for you. I did one time give my number to a young lady and, call me or text me or whatever when you got free time, something like that, whatever. I get a text message later on. It was towards the evening time. It was a couple hours later. Hey, this is so-and-so. My friend gave me your number. I have had that happen wherein I gave a number to a girl and my number ended up in somebody else's hands. But before you start tripping and before you start going on a tangent and before you start getting angry and shit like that, ask for that Facebook or that Skype so you can at least see what you're working with before you completely go ham shit, right? Before you completely get upset and mad at the young lady that gave your number to somebody else. See what you're working with first. See if it, if it's doable. Because if it is, then she did you a favor because she put the number in the hands of somebody who was definitely interested in you because maybe she wasn't. Again, doesn't always work that way. I will say in the situation that it happened to me in, I got the Facebook. I confirmed via, Facebook chat, whatever it is. I had a chance to see her. I confirmed that the pictures on Facebook were her. And, Marcus will be the one to have to tell that tale to you one day if he chooses to do so. And if you know who Marcus is, then you know. But at the same time, that's one thing that could potentially happen. Your number could end up in a bunch of people's hands. But at the end of the day, if it's just something you don't care about, you can always block them or, whatever. It doesn't really happen. It doesn't happen as often as you think, especially because usually you could be able to look at somebody and say, hey, this particular person may have some interest in having a conversation with me. And I think that you have to put yourself in a position to be able to read the room. You have to be able to say, hey, I can fairly say that from a sensible standpoint, the way me and her have been looking at each other, or the little witty banter that we've shared back and forth, the hey, hello, oh, this food's beautiful, or it looks just good as you, some lame shit, whatever you saying, and she's responding, or she's giving you that laugh or that giggle or that smile, should put you in a position to be able to say, hey, I give her this number. There's a high percentage chance, it's never guaranteed, high percentage chance that she's going to respond to I, right? Because the phone number trick, in my personal opinion, never fails because, again, like I said, 50-50 chance. She gonna either hit you up, she not gonna hit you up. If she don't hit you up, guess what? Did you lose anything? No. All right? Your time, effort, and energy was not wasted. So, again, I like giving out phone numbers to young ladies in the Philippines. Now, there was one thing that I used to do. I don't recommend it anymore. It was okay probably back in the day, but this time around, utilizing a phone number trick in this capacity may not be to your, best interest. But back in the day, what I used to do is I used to grab a bunch of the hotel cards where I was staying at and just write my number on the back of it. So if, conversation led to something a little bit more than just conversation, she already knew where I was staying at. She could find a way to the hotel and, we make some things happen. But nowadays, that's probably not the best way to go about it. People are dangerous. The world is dangerous. Some people are always looking to set you up. They don't know what you have, what you don't have. They just know you're a foreigner. You look like you might be an easy lick. May not be the best way to go about it. But I do believe finding some cards, business cards or whatever to write your number on so you have them on deck rather than searching and having to find a pen or something to write the number down is always ideal. So you always have your phone number somewhere where people can reach out to you and get to you if you so choose to. And of course, the number that you give, I would hope that it wouldn't be like a personal line wherein only the real ones hit you up. It would have to be probably a secondary line that you literally set up just for the action that you may or may not be getting. If you feel me, then you feel me. But if you can always find a way to get a girl your number rather than you asking for hers, it's always going to be to your benefit. And the reason I say it's always going to be to your benefit is, what do you really lose? Okay, she ain't hit me up. It is what it is. At least I didn't waste my time trying to get a number or Instagram or whatever or Facebook, and we going back and forth 30 minutes trying to figure this thing out. At least you kind of know if she's interested in you, chances are she's going to hit you up. And I just want you to keep that in mind. So never be afraid to get the phone number, y'all. Never be afraid of that. Never be afraid to go for it. Because at the end of the day, I promise you this, what do you really lose? Okay, and this highly effective trick is brought to you courtesy of the good Dr. Mike TV. Appreciate y'all for locking in. You already know what to do. If you like the video, you know what to do. If you thought this video was lame and you're just the OG of all OGs and you get all the bitches and all the women and stuff like that and this is just lame to you, let me know. I'd be glad to hear what you gotta say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, has been fun. It has been real. Time for good Doc to go and get to getting. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed, man. Doc is out. Peace.